What's up, guys? This is Mr. PXW11556, and my special guest is fortminorproject. You may have heard of him from my episode 2 video with I'm McLovin15155, and I shouted him out. And yeah, same guy. So you want to say anything before we start the interview?
Oh yeah, thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, no problem, man. First question: how did you get in pro wrestling? Get into pro wrestling? My bad.
Well, it started about like 2000, 2001, around that time, and pretty much got it started, with my stepdad because I saw him watching it and checked it out, and I thought it was actually really cool, and I started following the schedule and watching Raw and watching SmackDown, following that, and got into it a lot more eventually. And started collecting some stuff, and that's how it all started from there, pretty much.
Oh, okay. So were you shocked or not as much when they changed from WWF to WWE?
I was pretty surprised. I didn't really know why they did that, but as time, went on with that, I learned why they did that with the whole copyright thing, and I was pretty shocked, but I got used to it too after a while when it changed to WWE.
Oh, okay. So what was since you've been collecting DVDs, what was your first WWE DVD that you collected since that change?
Some of my first ones were like the 2002, so like SummerSlam 2002, Unforgiven, WrestleMania, things like that, and a couple of the 2001s, like Invasion and stuff like that, were pretty much, my first collections of DVDs.
Yeah, the only bad thing is that 2001, 2002 were like the best years, and like all the DVDs are like rare to find.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, exactly. But find them on torrents, you know. But anyway,
Yeah, that's true.
so what are your thoughts on ROH? Did you watch it when it was new, or?
I didn't really watch it when it was new, but towards like I want to say maybe 2 years ago, something like that. It hasn't been that long. My friend Anya Masus LJ and a couple others, got me into it, and I just started checking it out, and learning that some of the wrestlers from WWE and TNA went there, so it's actually really cool. And so far I've been enjoying it. I haven't been watching this too much, but I have been enjoying what they're doing over there and like the wrestlers and stuff like that.
Okay. So what are your thoughts? I mean, my bad. What are your thoughts on Jack Specific and let me rephrase it. TNA and WWE switching toy companies, if you would say.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
With that, with Jack Specific, they did, good with the, figures and with WWE. Don't really have a problem with them, switching over to TNA. Nothing really too much to say about that. But yeah, that's it when it comes to that.
Okay, so what's your favorite wrestler from the Attitude Era?
My favorite would definitely have to be The Rock, since he pretty much, got me into wrestling and, keep me tuned in next to Stone Cold and stuff like that. So definitely, yes, The Rock is one of my favorites from the Attitude.
And who is your favorite wrestler from like PG era slash like the beginning of WWE?
So you mean like currently right now?
Yeah, basically.
Right now, it's got to be Christian at the moment for current favorites.
Okay. Who got you into TNA?
Actually, it was really Kurt Angle, pretty much. Since he was pretty much went over there, and I saw him, doing a couple of matches. Started following guys like AJ Styles that caught to my interest, and how things were different. They had this different ring with the six-sided ring and everything. It was just actually really cool. I haven't been watching it too much at the time, just on and off when I could, but it was really pretty much Kurt Angle at the time.
Okay, so what's your thoughts on the Ultimate Warrior slash Hulk Hogan thing going on?
With that, I haven't really been following that too much. I don't think they really need to, being exposed of each other. They should really be doing, different things. So there isn't really too much to say about it, since I'm not really too much following about it.
Okay, so what's your thoughts on WWE 12 rebranding itself, like the game? Like it says bigger, badder, something like that. I totally forgot. But what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's cool. With WWE 12, coming out in November, it's definitely gonna be a cool game. I like the series, so it's pretty cool. I guess they ended the SmackDown versus Raw series, but I enjoyed that as well. I like what they're doing. Like I mentioned, time before, they're listening to the fans this time. Taking out everything, putting in new stuff. I'm actually looking forward to seeing what kind of match types they're gonna have this year too, and what kind of updated roster who's going to be on there. So that's going to be something looking forward to see. So I'll definitely, be on the lookout for that and looking forward to playing that.
Okay, so this is kind of like a two-in-one question. What's your thoughts on ROH getting a TV deal, and do you think that CM Punk is gonna be there for their debut show?
With always getting a TV deal, I was, hoping they would eventually in time. So I'm really happy that they're, actually getting one. So I think that's a good thing, so fans can, look at something different besides WWE and TNA and get noticed with a new company like ROH. And they really do good things over there. A lot of people may not realize, what kind of wrestlers that came from there. So that's good that they'll get more exposure, maybe get more wrestlers in there and do better with that. And with CM Punk, depending if he's gonna leave WWE or not, I wouldn't mind seeing him going there. I can't really see him in TNA at the moment, but I wouldn't have a problem with CM Punk going over to ROH again.
Okay, another question. Do you think Undertaker's gonna retire this year or next year? Like, basically, do you think Undertaker's gonna retire before WrestleMania? And if not, who do you think he's gonna verse at WrestleMania 28?
With that one, I kind of wanted him to, face someone like Chris Jericho or John Cena, but of course John Cena is, busy at the moment, going to be facing The Rock, so that's not really going to happen. I don't think he'll, retire before WrestleMania, around WrestleMania at that time, to have his last match and then, slowly walk away and, eventually in time be in the Hall of Fame. For him to be in his last match, it might be Triple H, depending on what's going on, but it's kind of hard to tell. But if it's going to be someone like Chris Jericho, I think that would be, a cool match to see. Or, someone new, definitely, I wouldn't mind that either.
Okay, do you think that since Batista didn't debut, re-debut, in WWE as I planned to, if you saw my video on Made Account, that Batista was gonna come back at Capital Punishment. Do you think that was the only way he could think he'd come back this year, or you think that was it for him? Or
Well, that would have been a nice way to have Batista to come back at Capital Punishment since in his hometown. So, he could come back at any time, whether it be Raw, SmackDown, or even at the pay-per-view. So I don't think that's, pretty much the last of Batista. I definitely think we'll probably see him, down the road. I know he's supposed to be doing MMA. I'm not too sure if he's doing that still. So, it's kind of hard to tell at this point. So, definitely, yeah, besides Capital Punishment, we'll probably will be seeing Batista back sometime down the road. Maybe at the end of this year, and hopefully we'll see.
okay, my last and final question. What is your favorite match of all time you ever seen?
My favorite match, see, that's one of those hard questions because there's just so many matches.
All right, top 5.
Well, I can try and do that with the top 5. Like I mentioned before, The Rock and Hogan, WrestleMania 18. Edge and Mick Foley at WrestleMania, that was a good match. Batista and The Undertaker were, some good matches there. Just to name a few, it's kind of hard to, go through every match because there's so many great matches. So those are, just some of the matches that I can come off right now at the top of my head. So that was a good question.
Okay, so thank you guys for watching the interview, and Fort Minor Project. Do you want to say anything before you go, or?
No, that's about it. Thanks for having me on the show, man.
All right, thanks. Any shout outs?
Just subscribe to Brendan here and subscribe to me as well, and that's about it.
Okay, thank you guys. Follow me on Twitter. Follow Fort Minor Project on Twitter. NC Regan, I believe.
Yep,
And
that's
yeah, and talk to you guys later. Peace.